Hello, everybody. This is Glenda and Buster with AKA GK Fralin of Friendly Community. And our friendly community welcomes you. And tonight, I want to talk about a couple of things. But first, I want to talk about a beautiful, wonderful woman of our time by the name of Maya Angelou. If you do not know who that is, well, I'll tell you a little about her, and then you can go and look up more. Because today would be her 90th birthday. What can I tell you about Maya Angelou? She was a black woman, African American, whichever you choose. She had an unpleasant childhood. I really can't give her biography because there's not enough time. The woman was so accomplished and started out so low. It's almost unimaginable. I want to share a quote from Maya Angelou. There is a kind of strength that is almost frightening in black women. It's as if a steel rod runs right through the head down to the feet. Well, for her, I'd say that was definitely the case. When she was just a child, she was raped by one of her mother's boyfriends, and then her uncles. According to the biography I read, they killed the boyfriend, the mother's boyfriend. What happened from then, I didn't really follow all that much. But she had a difficult time, especially in her younger years. But this woman, she had that steel rod that she was talking about. She had a veneer of softness and yet toughness, an internal heart that was so kind, and that steel rod that went right through her backbone because she didn't bow down. She sounds awesome. She was. Dr. Maya Angelou. Yes, she did. She became a PhD. That's not even her greatest accomplishment at all. She was a poet, writer, screenwriter, teacher, activist, mostly for civil rights. She knew and worked with Dr. Martin Luther King in organizing the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. He was assassinated and died on her birthday. After that, she refused to celebrate her birthday for several years and instead sent flowers to Coretta Scott King. That shows the love that came from Maya. She wasn't lucky in love, although she did marry a few times, and she had love. She just wasn't very lucky as far as, I don't know, as far as the long term. But it's something that she wouldn't really talk about. So I can't really tell you much because it wasn't something she really discussed. She had one son. He is also a poet I just don't know what else I can say. I mean, she was born in 1928. She marched with Martin Luther King Jr. She was a speaker. She was a writer. She was a poet. Her best weapon were her words. Okay. This is Caged Bird by Maya Angelou from her book Caged Bird from Shaker, Why Don't You Sing, which was copyrighted in 1983 by Maya Angelou. And I am taking it from the internet at Poetry Foundation. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still. And his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still. And his tune is heard on a distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. How much more beautiful can you express the need for freedom and be a civil rights activist with words? That is, to me, a beautiful thing. I'm not a civil rights activist at all. I do believe in the power of words. I'm a writer. And I'm a vlogger who talks a lot. I like to talk of learning to smile and laugh so that you can acknowledge others. Some don't understand that, and I learned that today. Some don't understand it because they're still angry over some recent events, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them for feeling upset or for being angry, just so that anger doesn't roll over into more violence. When I talk about learning to smile and be kind, I'm talking about things learned from and encouraged from a young age all the way through adulthood. By yourself, by your parents, by your grandparents, by your friends, by everybody. And to those that you meet. I'm not talking about preaching it. I'm talking about practicing it. They say violence begets violence. Can kindness beget kindness, at least on the grander scale? That's what I am trying to get through. I'm not going to say you can't be upset about the woman who killed some people at the YouTube headquarters in California. I'm upset by that too. Nobody deserves that. I'm upset about what happened in Florida at the school. I'm upset by the number of killings that are being done without guns. I get upset when I hear about a child being used as a shield or even as a weapon. But for me to act on that anger and to spout that anger and encourage others to be angry, that isn't healthy. What is healthy is healing. What would a nurse say other than that? What's healthy is healing. A good, positive attitude and outlook. And that is what took Maya Angelou through. It's what carried her through a lifetime. She was still alive when I first studied her in college. It was a women's study class, so it wasn't just about Maya Angelou. We briefly studied her, or about her. But that woman's words had power. Think of the power of that poem about a caged bird singing. Every bit of that's not about the bird's freedom. It is, but it's not. It's about free people. Because people who are not free still dream of freedom, even if they've never been free in their life. We've seen that in Russia, Poland, with the ending of slavery here in our country. Whoever has ever been, even born into a lack of freedom, and that includes wild animals, they still have that dream of freedom. They still have that desire to be on the other side of that fence. May never get there. Doesn't mean we can't think of it and even write about it. We can write about thinking of it. And we can sing about writing it. Right, Buster?
Yeah, I know what you mean. For sure I know what she means.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
I'm not even me without her or her hand. But I'd still like to be out with pups, digging, chasing balls. I'd like all that stuff.
Me too. For you. And for me these days. So show somebody some kindness with either a smile or a wave or something. Just for that moment in time. Change their life. Anyway, I love you. If you do like this channel, please subscribe. If you like the message, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you tomorrow. And write 3 lines, at least, of what you think might help the world. Or one person's life, or yours. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Night-night, love you.